Holy hell.
Wow.
That new intro music, man, that's something.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, man, I'm ready to run through a wall. Chat, what you think? We got new intro music. Let's go. J-Bake's been in here since 2 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
He's always here.
The real question is, will YouTube care about the new intro?
We're going to find out.
This might be our last broadcast, everyone. Let's go
We'll
out
know
with a bang.
about 6 hours. Hey, there's a face I hadn't seen in here.
Nothing like when they flag you for using royalty-free music.
Yeah, seriously. It was
Like, here's a website,
Talking
all
to you,
royalty-free. Bang,
Talking to you.
flagged.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night, and that can only mean one thing. You're spending your evening with three of the most handsome dudes on YouTube. Or
don't
X.
tell lies.
Wherever you're watching.
Don't tell lies.
Call me George Washington, sir, because I cannot tell a lie. Before we go too
George
far,
Washington tote weed, man.
You told Bill you were his friend.
I love Bill.
Oh,
I love
no,
Bill.
you don't. You don't love Bill.
I do.
Hey,
love Bill.
Jason can confirm if Bill's sick or not. Bill called in sick.
Is Bill really sick? He
Is
called
Bill
me-
sick, Jason?
Rayleigh, is Bill really sick, or is he standing there kiki-kikiing?
I'm gonna guess he's kiki. Chat, what do you think?
Probably is.
Ian?
They're having their weekly badminton tournament tonight.
Bill's undefeated.
Before we go any further, chat, you know the drill. We got to pay some bills. So please, if you haven't yet, subscribe. Do all the things like share, comment, heart. do all the things. It helps our reach. If you're on Facebook, follow us there. Follow us on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. You can find all of us on X. We're very active there. Well, sometimes we do a little trolling. Been known to. So I don't know.
Bit.
Just
Little
no
bit.
burner accounts here though.
Little
No.
But do us a favor. Make sure you're sharing everywhere. If you're in Facebook group, share us there. Don't even ask for permission. If they boot you, start your own Facebook group. Who cares?
That's it.
Bingo. We'll be like the SEC and Big Ten. You don't like the rules? We'll start our own.
Bingo. Exactly. That's how we roll. It's Thursday night, and man, the sports world is abuzz. I wanted to
It
talk to you
is.
guys about something because I posted something earlier this week. Angel Reese
Man, come on.
is demanding more
Really?
money. She's demanding
Yeah.
more money, and I want to get everybody's. Now, let's be mature about this. Chat, specifically J-Bake. I know that you can get a little rowdy sometimes. I want to get everybody's perspective. Should we be paying our women pro basketball players more money? Should they make as much as their male counterparts in the NBA?
If they're putting asses in seats.
But they are not.
Exactly.
Only last year they started putting BIS, butts in seats. When
And why did
Caitlin
that
Clark,
There it
when
is.
Caitlin Clark got in the mix, they started selling it. They had to move some WNBA games to the NBA arenas because only when Caitlin Clark was in town though.
That's right.
J-Bake,
So-
J-Bake never gets points, man.
Anyway, so that's the only time they started, but I think they lost like $40 million last year. The league did.
Yeah.
All the teams are subsidized by the NBA team. So for her to come out and say that is just asinine. I mean,
Look, somebody retweeted my Twitter post and tried to drag me, and I'm like, look, man, it's simple. It's simple
it's math.
capitalism. If there is if the product was worth what they're wanting to be paid, they'd be paid what they're
That's right.
as much as the product is worth. And it
That's the
boils
truth.
down to it. You can argue about why the product isn't worth as much, but when it comes down to the pay, it's supply and demand. The demand for the WNBA is not there. It is for the NBA for now.
All,
so-
all you have to
waning
do
too,
is
though.
all you have to do is look at ticket sales and look at TV ratings. That's it.
Bingo. And it doesn't add up. There's no
You want to know who
you had
you want to know who puts asses in seats and gets
What's up,
TV
Eric?
ratings?
Ace Bro.
SEC
that?
football.
SEC football
What
does
up,
do a
Eric D?
very good job.
Yeah.
It does do
at
that.
You know what else does that, Chris? SEC basketball.
Yes, it does.
And speaking of which, what tipped off today, Jeff?
Well, it's the SEC conference tournament tipped off today. It's not
Sure
my favorite
did.
event, but it's a one that we have to play. So let's play it. Might as well win it. If we got to play in it, might as well win it.
Well, some people are saying that March, the madness starts now with the SEC basketball tournament.
Basically,
Before we go anywhere, let's just talk about. I asked you guys today to send me your picks for the tournament championship game. Who do you think is going to win it? And Jeff, to everybody in the chats, this is why Jeff's a fan favorite, because he doesn't pick with his head, he picks with his heart. And Jeff, we love you for that. Chat, before we get there, who's going to play in the SEC tournament championship game? Who's going to win it? Who's cutting down
what
the
up,
net?
Lance?
What's going on, Lance?
Mexico.
Tampico.
See Jake Taylor down there in the summer league?
He definitely seen J-Bake down there a couple times. So Sears has been on fire since moving to the 2-guard position. You're absolutely right, Eric.
He has.
And
was
for
a
that reason,
big move.
Jeffrey has picked Alabama to win the SEC
These are
tournament.
facts, my friends.
yes, he is.
He's the only one out of the four of us. We don't count Bills because Bill does not know ball. If you ask me right now, who's playing the best basketball in the SEC is Florida.
It is.
Will that continue in the tournament? I don't know, but based off of what I saw at the end of the season, I'm going with Auburn, Florida. I think Bama will play well in the NCAA tournament. I think that they'll do fine in the SEC tournament, but I think your championship game is going to be Auburn and Florida, with Florida chopping down the nets with old Condor.
He won't need a ladder. He'll just reach up about this high and go clip,
Yeah.
clip.
That's
You guys
true.
need anything
That's
down
it.
there? Okay.
Bill seems to agree with me Chris agrees with me on who's going to win it all, but he's got Bama playing in the championship game. And it looks like the chat is in
Eric D knows what's up
with you there, Jeff, that Alabama will win the SEC tournament. And now it's hard to say because, I mean, that Auburn game, Mark Sears looked amazing. And every Barner that you know is going to tell you that, you know, Auburn didn't really care. They didn't need to win that game. I mean, hogwash, I say.
Such a
utter hogwash. If it didn't matter to the seniors, man, I don't know how I'd feel about that because the Alabama Crimson Tide went down to Neville and beat the Auburn Tigers on a buzzer beater by that guy right there. Figure out where to point right there. Mark Sears.
Mr. Sears.
And beat the likes of Janai Broome.
That was a fantastic basketball game.
It was. That was a championship caliber game, man.
Your fandom for a minute and just like look at it as a basketball game, you know, just as a basketball game. That was a fantastic basketball game to watch. I almost envy people that could watch it neutrally and just could enjoy the game for being the game and not have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
Because that was a fantastic basketball game. Both teams tried to win that game. Don't let anybody fool you. I know what Auburn Nation is saying, that nobody cared. Don't let anybody fool you. They cared. You don't pull your jersey up over your face in shame if you don't care about something. You just walk off. They cared. Bruce played all the starters every minute of the overtime, all the way to the end. They cared.
And to Eric's point, it's hard to beat an Alabama team with a pissed off Grant Nelson.
White boy Rick don't play.
Really,
he's back
really
just in time.
To beat an Alabama team with a really upset Grant Nelson. And Nelson did this last year in the tournament. As the season ended, he kind of came on strong, and then he helped Alabama make that Final Four run. So we'll see if he can do the same thing this season.
White boy Rick shows up for the postseason, and we got him. Like, that was the announcement last weekend that White boy Rick is now in the mix.
And then I agree with what Eric said about Sears. Sears is looking a little bit better now that he's in that.
Yeah, he looks real good now.
He's looking a lot better now that he's in that 2 position. Alabama has the parts, man. The team looked different when Right Cell went out.
Man, that hurt.
It did hurt.
They have the parts, but they all don't work at the same time, it seems.
Well, that's true.
It just, like you've got the blue chew, but it makes the wrong thing work.
What is Reed? Is Reed out for the season?
A lot of people are kind of speculating that he's going to come back, but I think he's done for the season.
I mean, he came back for a minute and then just hasn't.
Yeah, that seems to be
been back since. Yeah. He was our most consistent defender. I mean, that really our defense took a hit when he got dinged.
Yeah,
but like any Bama injury, they never, get dinged and heal up. It's like a lingering 6-8 week thing, no matter what.
Yep. Yeah. Let's talk about this, J-Bake here. We'll go back to this while we're discussing the Iron Bowl of basketball. He hit him out of retaliation. Doesn't matter. He got a
probably.
Sure,
he did. He was,
but it doesn't matter.
Youngblood's a physical player.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. What he did was dirty. He's a dirty player. It's not the only instance of being a dirty player that he's had all season, and so it's good. It's good that they finally kind of pulled the proverbial trigger there and got him off the court before he drew more blood. And so I think it's funny, man. The guy's like 35 years old. He's got 2 mortgages, a doctorate's degree, and he's still playing. Actually, he doesn't have a degree yet, which is crazy. I think he's actually 25. He doesn't have a degree yet. He's still playing college basketball. And he's got another year of eligibility. Chris just wanted to show the amateur sketch, buddy.
That's crazy. I can't believe he's going to be 26 playing college sports.
What was he retaliating to? Getting beat by Alabama. That's what.
Youngblood was busting him up. They were playing physical down there. Youngblood's a tough kid, man.
Eric, earlier in the season, Jeff and I were talking about, we kind of spoke to a little bit of frustration about Oates kind of moving that starting lineup up, moving it around a lot. But I think he might be onto something. I think he might have figured out where to play these guys. And if he did, well, it's on the Stetson Bennett academic plan. That's good stuff. If he did, Watch out, because I think Alabama, if they're clicking, they are one of probably 5 teams that could cut down the nets in the NCAA
They can
tournament.
fill it up quick.
Yep.
I mean, they're paint touch within 5-6 seconds of the shot clock. I mean, they don't slow down. So I mean, we just gotta turnovers and free throws, man, and rebounds. You gotta quit turning the ball over. That'll solve a lot of problems.
Absolutely. So, chat, what do you think? What does Alabama have to do to cut down the nets in the 2025 NCAA tournament? What do they need to do? For me, they just have to be the more physical team. Chris?
I don't care if they need to be physical or poke eyes or, give them no Peter Twist, whatever.
They old.
Just win. R.
Sweep the leg.
That's it.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. Cobra Kai, A+ show, by the way. I just finished.
Hey, have you finished it?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah,
but it's so bad you have to watch.
It's that
bad isn't good, or
it's
bad
that
isn't bad.
nostalgia.
Bad isn't bad.
I've watched the first, I think, episode and a half of the first season.
It's a train wreck, though. It's so bad.
You're the first person I've heard say it wasn't good.
Spoiler alert: John Kreese dies. So
you're supposed to give people a minute to mute.
No, I don't care.
Son of a bitch.
Chris, are you trying to be funny?
Yeah.
I actually thought Miyagi killed him in the parking lot of Karate Kid 2.
No, he didn't rip his throat out.
Oh, sorry. That was the director's cut where Miyagi gave him the 1-ton heart technique or whatever that was from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Chris, check your phone.
What?
Y'all kill me with these text conversations in the middle of a live show.
You don't want to know this text. No.
Sorry, chat. You can watch
No
this.
joke.
Watch them read text for a minute. So,
do you want me to answer this?
That's like the biggest spoiler in the entire show, dude.
All right. So, okay. So back to Alabama stuff. This weekend, Alabama tips off tomorrow night, Friday night. I'm just
Bring me
kidding.
back. Bring me back.
And we're back.
They do play tomorrow night. Who are they playing? I haven't even. I'll be honest, man.
Kentucky. I think it's Kentucky, isn't it? Or will it be Kentucky if they win?
If
Probably.
they win.
Yeah, they're playing Georgia, right? In Kentucky, Georgia.
Probably. I got the dogs winning it all. I'm just kidding, man. I saw somebody tweet that.
Woof woof.
So, I'm going to stick with Florida. I said it on the show.
I
I'll stick
think
with
Florida's
it.
got
If
it.
they don't win it all, I'll eat the crow. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. I will say what does matter is that Bama gets in here and wins a couple of games and potentially secures a 1 seed. I think that would be a 1 seed is still within reach. Nick Kelly wrote a pretty cool article about that, kind of highlighting how Alabama could secure one. I still think it's very possible. They're going to need to win a couple of SEC tourney games, though.
What's more important to you, rest or that seed? If we lose a game and rest extra couple days and get a 2 seed, is that a dick punch to you, or would you rather play 2 extra games and get a 1 seed?
So normally I would say rest, but I think because this team's been really inconsistent, and if I do agree with what I think it was Eric said, that they finally kind of started to figure out who to play, when to play.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then maybe you don't want to let them get cold.
Yeah.
If they're playing their best
you got to
ball.
keep the momentum going.
Yeah, that's just me.
I'm with you there. I think if we had lost to Auburn, you could almost say,
yeah, who cares?
Say just almost lose the first game so we can get right. But I think winning that game in Auburn got some momentum. And like Chris said, I think you need to keep that mindset going of live game, like intense live game, and just roll with it.
Absolutely.
This team needs reps.
Yes, they do.
And the more games we play, if we sit for a week, I think this team would come out down 10-0 in the first tournament game, just being cold.
Absolutely. 100%. So
So did you guys see
that's a good comment.
Did you guys see where what's the cat's name that plays at Auburn? What's his Twitter handle is cbuckets27. Who is that? What's his name? He's an ass, whoever he is. I can't think of what his name is, but
Chris, is everybody on the internet pissing you off?
Yeah. He got into it with Barstool Bama during the game on Twitter.
Really?
Did you? Yeah. Barstool sent him a DM. Said, you're 25 in college basketball and think you're tough, elbowing dudes in the back of the head and talking.
Oh, you're talking about Mazzara.
Yeah.
Okay, that's who you're talking about. Yeah, I did see that. Guy's got nothing else going on.
The only thing he could say is, I make more money than you. And he said, bro's on his phone in the middle of the game. Sounds about right. And then they go back and forth. And something. He said, you're 50 with no degree.
I'm sure Auburn's got some easy degrees to get.
When was he doing this? He was in the game. When was he doing all this
the game?
I don't know. How hard do you think it is to get a degree in like artificial force insemination or something?
Sounds like somebody had his phone. I can't see him sitting over there with his phone.
I don't know, man. That team,
that was an intense game. He was a big part of that game.
Discipline.
That team.
I can't believe that he would be sitting there during the game on the sidelines.
I would not be shocked by that.
And
that would surprise me.
Somebody reported Nick Saban to the FCC.
I did see that.
Yeah, they did.
For saying the S word on ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
He said some dirty words on college.
Yeah. Wordy dirds, everybody. Those wordy dirds.
I'm waiting on somebody to report.
I'm here to gain knowledge, not to hear a retired football coach say curse words to try to be funny. He's not trying to be funny, sir.
Oh, get a life, whoever.
That's just how he talks.
There's bigger problems in the world to worry about than Nick Saban saying poop on television.
I wish Nick Saban would respond to it. I'd love to hear his.
I think he is. I think it's not long before he drops the F-bomb on game day.
I hope. I mean, Lee Corso did it, so why not?
But Lee
Does
Corso,
he know that?
Yeah, exactly. You see what I mean?
He wasn't aware. He was definitely not aware. He said it.
Sleepy Joe.
Everybody else was
Sleepy
like,
Joe.
"What did he say?"
Yeah, Jeff does a great Trump.
Let's hear
it. Sleepy Joe.
It's not bad. Say China.
China.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. It's so disgusting.
Chat, rate Jeff's Lee
Biden course.
1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being really bad. J-Bag, I can't put that on the screen.
No, Jay, we will not post that. Sorry, it's a family show.
Go look in the chat.
If your family is dysfunctional.
Hey, did you guys know that you can become a Waaaay Offsides member?
What?
It's really easy. You sure can do it. Look at this here. Look at this pretty video I made. If you are a creator or just somebody who wants to work with us, you can shoot us an email. Chris, where can they email us?
They can email us at waayoffsides@gmail.com. That's way with 4 A's. Offsides@gmail.com.
Yes, we promise to get back to you within 180 business days.
I actually check that email account every day.
I know you do. I was just joking.
You know.
But the idea of the WOSN, you can see the emblem up there in the corner it's a bunch of like-minded individuals who love life.
Yeah, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, IG, whatever.
Yeah, maybe you're a blogger.
Yeah, maybe
you are.
Don't hear that much.
Maybe you're a scout. Maybe you're a high school coach. I don't know, but maybe you've got
maybe you're a player that's looking for representation.
Absolutely. Maybe you got a brand you're trying to build, right? That's what we do. We work with other brands and our brand to try to lift each other up, so that you guys can be just as cool as Chris is.
I mean, we built this brand from nothing to almost nothing.
We've got all the things that you need for a brand. Like, look at the pretty graphics and
not the people.
Just not the people. But that's where we're leaning on you guys. Again, please do the damn thing and make sure you're subscribed. You can follow us on social media, and you can find us on YouTube. It's really not hard. You just got to push a button on your cellular device. Also, while you're doing that, thanks to Jeff for this awesome graphic. Go check out our new website. That is www, all the W's at waayoffsides.com. www.waayoffsides.com. 4 A's. There we go. Let's take the banner down.
It's over here on the sidebars too. If you guys look over here,
it is. We'll show it to you one more time.
There it is.
There it is. Such a good job, Jeff. You did great.
Oh, thank you.
You did great. Yeah, go check out our website. There's a lot of cool stuff. We're working on it. It's still a work in progress, but we eventually will have a lot of fun stuff on there. But boys, you guys all know how I feel about Clint Lamb. Thank you, Jay Bake. We love you.
I need to get Clint on the show, man.
In a plutonic way, but we do love you. I'm not trying to.
Sorry, Bill. We like Lance better. You're out. Lance has better takes than Bill anyway. So,
Roll Tide Cat, what's going on?
What's up, Cat?
Tell your friends we're live. Get them in here. You know the drill. I love Clint Lamb. I got a lot of respect for Clint. The freaking guy reached out to me when Mom passed away a couple weeks ago. Just really good dude. I've learned a lot just watching his videos, and but he posted a video a couple days ago on social media. You don't worry about it, Cat. It's okay. Posted a video the other day on social media, and it was kind of a wild take, but when you really think about it, he makes sense. And I wanted to talk about it ourselves. Pretty much what he said was he felt like Ty Simpson would be a better dual threat quarterback than Jalen Milroe. And so before we dive into this, I want the chat. I want to get their initial reactions without us staining it with our bias. So, chat, what do you think? Who's going to be the better dual threat quarterback? Ty Simpson, assuming he's the starter, or Jalen Milroe? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the better dual threat quarterback?
What
was Milroe's second threat?
Yeah, anytime
you have to have two threats to be dual threat.
Anytime you put Milroe's name in something, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Clint knows what he's doing. He's not stupid, man.
No doubt.
He's not stupid. Why do you think we're talking about it? So, everybody see the leprechaun say, yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the show, in honor of the upcoming holiday, St. Patrick's Day, Chris, every time you turn your camera on, Jeff and I both have to go, yeah.
And then everybody in the chat has to drink.
That's it.
Yeah, Clint is a good dude. If you're drinking in the chat, every time you see the leprechaun, have a schwaller. J-Bake says, okay, hold on. I didn't proofread that comment first. I was like, he said, white men can't jump, so hell no. I think, to Jeff's point, the question is if Clint would have said, is Ty Simpson the better running quarterback? It obviously would have been, no, he's not the better running quarterback compared to Jalen Milroe. The better dual threat quarterback, abso-stinking-lutely. I think he will be when it's all said and done. I'm going to get massacred on social media because
here's the next question.
For the white guy, but
here's the next question, Cotton. Where will this happen?
What do you mean?
Where is he going to be? Is Ty going to do all this stuff? Is he going to be at Alabama?
Yeah, I think so. Are you still convinced Ty Simpson's not going to be your quarterback next season?
I mean, I'm not convinced he is.
Chat, tell Jeff why he's wrong.
Please. What have we seen that tells me I'm wrong, other than he's been here 2 years?
Lance, I agree. Ty is actually
he's sneaky fast.
Yeah, he's pretty quick.
He's the one of the guys that don't look like he's running fast until they try to take the angle on him, and he
whoa.
He's a little quicker than you think.
This is a take. Hold on. Better dual potential over Mac Jones? Sure. Bryce Young? Yeah. Absolutely not. No. Dude. No. I'm sorry, Lance. Agree to disagree, buddy. It's Austin Mack's world, and everybody's just living in it.
I mean, anybody seen Austin Mack?
If I had to take somebody over Ty Simpson starting, it would be Austin Mack. But I still think it's
do you understand who else is there?
Here's what
y'all like. No matter what, I'm not taking Keelan Russell. There's no way he can play.
Do you remember? Let's see, what year was it that Blake Barnett started like half a game?
Was it
2016? That was Hurts freshman year.
2015, 2016.
And then Coker.
That was 16.
Come in the rest of the season and just Yeah, I think we may see something like that. Simpson start, and if he doesn't live up to the potential, he gets pulled, and this Keelan Russell's to run with.
Okay. My only thing is later in the season, and I believe it was on College Game Day, Nick Saban made comments about how these coaches aren't insisting that quarterbacks stay and learn a system in the NFL and in college. It's a lot harder to do it in college to get a quarterback with that kind of talent to stay, but they're not sitting and learning. So if you could convince a guy like Keelan Russell to sit for at least a season, bear with us for a season, we're going to pay you, but you sit for a season and you learn this system, especially under the tutelage of Ryan Grubb now. Now, next season, 2026, it's Keelan Russell's show. This season, I just have a hard time digesting that.
So let me ask you this. If you're Kalen DeBoer, do you roll the dice? What if Grubb's not here next year? So do you want your year with Keelan and Grubb, or are you going to roll the dice that Grubb's going to be here next year? You're not breaking in a new OC with Keelan Russell next year.
Well, I have faith in the fact that Keelan Russell, I mean, he was coming to Alabama before Grubb, so I'm not worried about Russell hightailing it out.
No, I'm not worried about Russell. I'm asking does DeBoer want to not use Grubb and Russell this year?
I think that he would have to consider the system. So like whoever he hired to replace a guy like Grubb. Keep in mind Nick Sheridan's staying on staff. So if Grubb leaves, that's probably your likely OC again, but he's got a year up under Grubb. And so I would imagine the system would be pretty similar to what Grubb does.
Now, I haven't said all that. I don't think Grubb's leaving. I think Grubb wants to coach Keelan Russell, whether it's in year one or next year as the starter. I think Grubb wants to coach Keelan Russell whenever that is, whether it's this year or next year. He's coaching him now, but
I saw the interview with Grubb, and he talked about all the quarterbacks. But he was pretty excited when he talked about Keelan Russell. So maybe I'm wrong. But I think that if Ty is going to be the guy, it's going to be fine. I think all three of those guys is going to be okay. I think Alabama will be a championship caliber team next year, especially considering the defensive side of the ball. What they're bringing back, I think LT Overton's going to have an insane year. Oh, yeah. Next season, and that secondary is going to be just absolutely nasty.
LT was dominant last year. He couldn't finish, but he was in the backfield all year.
Well, a lot of these guys have
all year.
They've shed some weight. They're going to get quicker.
Yep.
Yeah. Overton, I think, is going to be one of those guys. Deontay Lawson, I think, will be just fine.
Secondary is looking sick too. Secondary looking
yeah. And the rotation, assuming that Alabama doesn't lose a lot after spring ball, the rotation in the secondary is actually a lot deeper than we probably felt like. My big question mark is the pass rush, but according to guys that got boots on ground in Tuscaloosa for spring ball, it's there. It is legitimately there. Whether you're talking about veterans or some of these newcomers, there are guys there who can pressure and finish when it comes to putting a quarterback on his ass. And so I'm really excited about it. I saw that earlier today, Jay Bake, about Overton giving Michael Carroll some high praises. We knew Carroll was going to be legit when he was taking recruiting photos with Saban, and I know Saban's a small guy, but Michael Carroll is this tower of a human being standing over the top of him. So
who's the tackle that's like 6'8", 350?
Chris Taylor.
No, he's got a different name than that. Chris Taylor. It's a funky name. It's a funky name, but I saw clips of him in practice the other day, and I was like, "Good Lord,
funky name!"
It's like Debo.
Alabama's wealthier and deeper going into this season than they were last year. We're not going to lose a lot to the draft. We did. I mean, we got dinged up a little bit at the wide receiver position by the transfer portal, but I think ultimately Alabama's been able to build some depth. And what's interesting to me is we're all talking about the defense, right? Because the defensive side of the ball we know is going to be good. That secondary did exactly what we said it would last year. It had a couple of moans and groans during the season, but it grew into itself as the season went on, and it got really good. Yes, Jay, that guy. But I think offensively, Alabama will finally be what we thought it was going to be. I think this might be the best offense Alabama's had in 3-4 seasons in 2025. So spring ball is straight up on the way. Anybody going to the A-Day event? Anybody going to that? I'm not going because I don't think it's going to be a game anymore. I think it's going to be more of a exhibition. I don't know.
That's it. They're going to throw the ball around a little and say, "Oh, look."
Lance, I'll fight you over Jefferson, man. That's my dude, bro. That's my dude. I'm telling you, man. If you go back and watch some of the games, I think it was the Tennessee game where he got hurt. The way we were impacting Nico completely changed when he came out of the game. Jefferson's legit, man.
He changed his number too.
What number is he now?
He's number 10 now.
Watch out. Diaz. Best core offense is Bryce last year at Bama. I can't really argue with that. I think you might be right. Okay. Yeah, maybe he is inconsistent. I'll give you that, Lance. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Hey, that guy's name, the offensive lineman name is Arkel Anugwam.
You okay?
Pronunciation guide, Arkel Anugam. That's how you say
Bless
it.
You.
Thank you. 6'6", 350. He's redshirt sophomore. But he looks like a mammoth. I mean, he towers over Proctor.
Absolutely ridiculous. Proctor. Big old dude, man. Big old dude.
I did like seeing a clip of Proctor like working with the young lineman though. That was pretty cool.
You know, Proctor's story, I enjoyed it. The fact that he went, immediately had regrets. You know, he went back.
Did you post this already? I missed that comment.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, sorry.
He went to Iowa, immediately had regrets, came back, and then, you know, he had a decent season. Yeah.
Hey! Everybody drink in the chat.
Yeah. Well, he had a decent season last year. I'm really excited to see what he does this season. I think
Alabama's healthy this season.
Yeah, I think Alabama's offensive line might be better than it was last year. I know a lot of people are kind of nervous about guys like Wilkin Formby who didn't have the best showings last season, but bear with those guys. They were put in some impossible situations early on. That USF game was tough, but give them time to grow, man. Yeah, absolutely, Lance. Yeah, I get it. I understand being home. Yeah. But he made the right decision and realized the grass isn't always greener, and he came back.
Formby will be fine.
Did Chris die, or is
Saban recruited him? I mean, it wasn't like he couldn't play. I mean, he just, like you said, it was a bad circumstance, and he had a bad game. He had a terrible game. There's no getting around it.
Formby is fine. I agree. In saying all this, you know, Alabama,
that's a big key.
We know that their 2025 crew is going to be good to go, right? We're very much aware of that. So the question now becomes, because we got nothing else to talk about until, you know, SEC Media Days in terms of football, the question becomes, what about that 2026 recruiting class? And I know that's what everybody's here. Everybody wants to talk about. Alabama currently sitting at like number 11, I think, somewhere in there. They had a couple of commitments and they jumped up. But what is Alabama doing on the recruiting trail? Are they doing anything? I'll tell you this. They're doing a lot. Kalen DeBoer has been burning up the roads, or should say earning those sky miles. Him, B-Rob, all of them, man. They're out and about doing their thing. And Alabama has quite an impressive slate of recruits lined up for some summer visits. To highlight those, I'm going to tell you a couple that I'm really excited about. And Jeff, I know you may not know who I'm talking about, but we're going to highlight two of them here in a minute. But some guys that could potentially be trending for Alabama to land soon. The first one is going to be wide receiver Tristan Keys. If you guys haven't heard that name, familiarize yourself with it. Brandon Arrington, I know we talked about Brandon before on the show, a guy that just finished up a visit at Alabama, our favorite name ever, Booby Feaster. So that's somebody that you want to definitely keep an eye out on. And Alabama's got some really notable 5-stars coming in to visit, some over the summer. You got 5-star.
Did somebody say boobies?
We did. Booby Feaster.
Oh.
Nom nom nom.
Go check out the short that we posted on Booby Feaster. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, K-Spray, they are. Look, it's still Bama, man. It's still Bama. Yeah, Tennessee is after Keys, but we'll see. I think Alabama needs to pick up probably 2 receivers in this class, and I think that they have the 2 targets that they want. We'll see if they get them. But outside of the receivers, Alabama's also bringing in 5-star cornerback Elbert Hill for a visit. 5-star edge Trenton Henderson, which is a big name. I want you guys to really pay attention to that as the recruiting cycle goes on. Anthony Jones, he's a 5-star out of Mobile. He's an edge. Cedarian Morgan, everybody knows that name. Cedarian, his recruitment's a little more open. He's not. A lot of these guys are leaning heavy Bama. Cedarian is a little more open in terms of who's actually going to probably end up getting him. Alabama's right in there. They're right in the midst of it, but we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, everybody knows the running back name, Xavier Crowell. And then Jacquez Wilkes, a linebacker, he's scheduled for a spring visit. Alabama is trending for a lot of these dudes, a lot of them. 4-star Janez Walton. The 2 big ones that I want to talk about, though, are, and we'll start here, 5-star tight end out of Mater Day, 6'4", 225 pounds, Mark Bowman. This is the number 1 tight end in the class. Very, very high-rated player. Kalen DeBoer and staff has been pretty vocal about the fact that they want a tight end who can come in and do everything right away. A lot of folks have called this guy, I'm sorry, but we got to make the comparison. A lot of folks have called this guy Brock Bowers 2.0. He can do everything. He can block. He can catch.
Screwed him exactly. Can't believe you just ruined his career already. Ain't even started yet.
Just like unrealistic expectations. And
already. He's like a top 3 receiver in the NFL. This guy's the next to that.
Well, Alabama's going after him hard. And
hey, he's already got the size, though. 6'4", 225. He put about 10 pounds on him. That's a matchup nightmare if he can run and catch.
He does. He just finished up a visit, and he actually has another visit in late May. So here's what's going on with these visits. Alabama's got, like I said, they've got a ton of these guys lined up. What you really want to watch is the summer visits. If you guys remember last year, Bama picked it up big time on the recruiting trail in the summer. Now, a lot of these 4- and 5-star guys, if you look at like the top 30 players, it doesn't matter what outlet you're looking at. If you're looking at 247 on 3, it doesn't matter. Rivals, these top 30 guys that aren't committed, or see even some of them who are committed. Bama's going after a couple of Ohio State commits. Alabama's starting to get on their radar, and they're starting to get these OVs. Now, I can't stress enough. Official visits are extremely important. We tell you all the time when you're watching these recruits, follow the visits, watch what they're doing. What's going on,
Raj?
You watch these
there
visits,
he is.
watch what they're doing. And that summertime is going to be very, very telling for Alabama.
Yeah.
I think if Alabama holds true, and a lot of these guys are wanting to come to Bama, and you're going to lose a couple of guys to the Oregons, Michigans of the world who are tossing out bags, Auburns of the world who are tossing out bags. But if Bama can get 4 or 5 of these guys that are already lined up for visits, or that are trending to Alabama, if they can actually land 4 or 5 of these guys, they're going to probably finish with the number 1 class in the fall once they sign. We've talked about this. The fact that Kalen DeBoer put together a staff that could come in and recruit the way they're recruiting after Nick Saban retired is absolutely insane.
Impressive.
And remarkable.
Impressive.
And keep in mind, there was never really a big dip in the top 5 in recruiting. 5 wasn't that far removed from the number 1 class. It's different now. That gap is even smaller because Georgia may finish with the number 1 class and sign 5 5-stars, but are they going to be able to keep all 5 of those guys on the roster when the portal opens and they're not starting? So Alabama's in a really good position. And I think a lot of the people that feel like Alabama falling off after the Nick Saban retirement are probably laying in their bed crying themselves to sleep at night, because they may say it on social media, but they know deep down within the pits of their guts that brand is still strong, and Alabama ain't going nowhere. Now, another guy that I want you guys to keep an eye on What is it?
So when you did that, it muted everything. So
oh no! Well, hold on.
Did it again. Did it again. Sorry, y'all.
All right. Anyway.
Sorry, y'all. Did it again.
Anyway, we're using these new scenes, and we haven't quite learned.
We'll
it.
Get there. We're working on it still.
But anyway, you saw the picture, Jordan Edmonds. Somebody I want you guys to pay attention to. Yeah, they are recruiting lights out right now, and I think it's going to pay dividends towards the end of the summer, before the season starts. It's going to be.
Where's Sprayberry at? Is that Alabama? Is that in Alabama? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think that's all the names for now. I know a lot of people were kind of upset about what I've been seeing is a lot of people frustrated that Alabama's putting so much attention on these cornerbacks and they want defensive linemen. Well, Alabama's got some guys, Jamarian Matthews, that he's an edge guy. I don't know that they have a ton of true D linemen that are showing some interest, but they do have some. It's Elijah Golden, Titan Davis, some guys like that who they're kind of trending towards Alabama right now. So here's the thing, man. Alabama can go supplement the defensive line in the portal. Do you want to go get a guy? A defensive line is extremely technical and an extremely important position. It's why they make the money that they make in the NFL. So do you want a guy that you got to bring in, pay to build up, or do you want to just go to the portal and pay some guy who's already been coached up, a Kelby Collins type guy, somebody that you can just go get, bring in, and is an immediate impact guy, a one and done type thing. I think that's going to be Alabama's approach to the defensive line moving forward over the next couple of seasons. I think what they want to do is shore up that secondary, continue to build the depth that they need. There you go, Lance. I agree with you, man. There we go. Look, me and Lance agree on something. So there is a Sprayberry High School in Georgia. And so I think Bama should have zero issues with that approach. I don't see any fault with it. Do you guys?
No, you got to build depth there. You've got to have depth there at that spot, especially at that spot, because injuries, the gods are not kind to those interior defensive linemen.
Sorry, I love that J-Bake always keeps it real. Hey, Jeff,
well, you don't have to play ball to know stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes and no. I agree with that. Just to be clear, yeah, Jordan Edmonds is from Georgia. He's not from Alabama.
Gotcha.
And so I thought you were just asking, hey, isn't there a Sprayberry Alabama?
Oh, no. I was at his Sprayberry. Sorry.
No, yeah, it was Georgia. I think it's around Marietta. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know Georgia well. I try to stay out of that state.
Yeah. I try to just pass through. I'm trying to stick around very long.
Get barked at a lot.
I mean, catch a baseball game here and there, but that's about it.
Lance, I would actually like to see, I guess you can. What teams have the most guys go in the first round historically, let's say the last 10 years of the NFL draft? I would imagine it would be Ohio State, Alabama, schools like that. And those guys are recruiting the most 5-stars. So, yeah, there's definitely a correlation there. But I think in some sense, the thing nowadays is that you're not going to get every 5-star because guys don't want to sit anymore. And this is why we're talking about the quarterback situation at Alabama so much this offseason, because there's this underlying fear that if Keelan Russell doesn't get the job, he's not going to stay at Alabama. It's, or Ty Simpson, or I think it's a general given that whoever doesn't start out of the three, one of them is going to transfer out. And it may be as early as spring ball. And so that applies to other positions as well, especially at the cornerback position. We saw that last season. There were a lot of guys who weren't getting on the field who transferred. One of them transferred to Auburn, Antonio Kite, and then got kicked off the team for God knows what.
Whoops.
Yeah. A couple of them transferred out to other SEC schools. Trey Amos transferred over to Ole Miss, which he's drafting this year.
I say that was a good move for him. He's about to get drafted. So
yeah, it was great.
He would have got drafted. He stayed too. He's a good player.
Probably would have, but I mean, the competition in Alabama secondary is just really, 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 really high. It's a high level of competition, and I think with the way they're recruiting, they want to keep it that way.
I mean, last year, Amos would have started, I think, opposite Damani, because we were running Mbakwe out there last year for live plays, and it looked like he'd never played cornerback ever.
Possibly.
So I think Amos would have been, hey,
yep, Chris is gone for
chat.
the night. Drink up. Chris is gone for the night. But in terms of recruiting, guys, I really do think that for Alabama, things are starting to heat up pretty quick. And yet by the end of the summer, you're going to see they're going to make a very loud statement to the rest of the country. Now, keep in mind, they're not going to get everybody. You're not going to get everybody that you want just because Bama's not going to throw a bag at everybody. Bear McWhorter, right? Right up until he signed, everybody had Alabama as the favorite, and then he commits, or not signs, but commits to Michigan. Why do you think that is? Same thing with Ty Haywood in the last cycle, right? Some guys are just going to bounce because of a bag. Honestly, my preference is if a guy's going to do that, it's probably not a guy you want playing on your team anyway.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's poison in the locker room.
A lot of people are losing players to Michigan.
Yeah, we've seen that with guys like Isaiah Bond, a couple other players that have put, Lambos and dollar signs over their locker room, and it doesn't typically pan out for their team. Texas won nothing last year. Nothing. At least the only ring I think Isaiah Bond's got is the SEC championship ring, and he won it at Alabama. So
that's the fact.
Yeah. So, and let's not pretend like Michigan's going to beat Ohio State anytime soon. I think Ohio State solidified themselves as the best 10 in the Big Ten, and it's going to stay that way for a while, as long as Ryan Day is there. So,
well, they'll have the highest payroll.
Absolutely.
And let's not be a close second.
To Lance's point, or maybe it was Jay Beck that said it about these recruiting outlets. Let's not pretend like there's not some bias there. Lance talking about Haywood dropping. Was it Lance that said it? No, Eric. Haywood dropping after he
a lot
committed.
Of them did. Yeah, they got that Bama bump.
That Bama bump is a real thing. It's a real thing. I don't know why it exists. I haven't connected the puzzle pieces yet, but it exists for a reason in the recruiting world. And Keelan Russell benefited from it well, but I think he's one of the few people that actually live up to that expectation, in terms of bumping up. Like, he should have never been a 3-star. Lacier Brooks is another guy that when he popped on the scene, he was ranked way too low. I think there's going to be some guys in this class that Alabama's going to pick up that people are going to laugh at. You guys all remember Matt from Louisiana laughing like, "Oh, they're having to flip guys from SMU." Well, we got the number 2 QB in the class, and your number 1 QB in the class ditched you guys last minute for a bag to Michigan. So there's going to be a lot of guys.
And then made the cover of the new college football game.
Hasn't played a snap in college. Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys saw the new cover, but your favorite Ryan Williams will grace the cover. So will Lane Kiffin. It looks like Kirby Smart's going to be on there.
Put James Franklin on there.
That was weird. I thought that was kind of strange too.
Kind of lost a little credibility there.
He needs to change his Bear Wolverine. Interesting. So I'm going to try and keep with it. I think that's a good idea, guys. I'd love to see what if you guys are doing science, I would love to see what your findings are. They need to be peer reviewed. Okay. We'll peer review them. So, Jeff, I don't have much else for the night, man. Since Chris already kind of bounced out, we're pushing an hour.
I know, man. We've got just everybody tune in to the basketball game, support them, support the Tide in the tournament. Even though this tournament isn't the big one, we still want to play well. Always better to go in to postseason on a win. Yeah. Thought that's why that Iron Bowl basketball game was so important. I mean, obviously beating Auburn is important, in-state, all that stuff. But I thought it was more important for us to win the game on the road, play well going into the postseason. Because after losing to Florida that way, I mean, there was a lot of
tough way to lose.
Doubters. I mean, nobody gave it. Vegas had us with 9-point dogs at Auburn. Almost double-digit dogs, man. I'd rather face OU, Raj, mainly because I'm sick of playing Kentucky in the tournament every year for my entire life. So I'd like to see something else. I've seen that movie 17, 18 times.
We'll find out, man. I'll tell you this much.
Florida.
Florida.
Florida. That's where Mr. Portal is from.
Mr. Portal. He's from Florida.
He's from Florida.
Just compare draft rankings too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Lance.
There you go.
I'm gonna do it. Science. Okay. So
Challenge.
you guys, before we go, we want to just say thank you to each and every one of you.
Yes, thank you.
We absolutely love you. You know that we had a kind of a rough fall when it comes to YouTube. Chris, since he's not here, we'll blame it on him. Pissed off YouTube, and YouTube gave us a smack on the wrist. So it's been kind of hard getting our viewership numbers back up. We had at one point where we're averaging like 800 viewers a show. It's down to like 120 now. And so we really need your help to get this thing hyped back up. So if you would, please consider sharing this show everywhere you can. If you like snippets, stupid stuff we're saying, screen record it, make a little snippet, post it to Twitter, use the hashtag Waaaay Offsides. It's 4A's. We're going to do a better job about posting our own snippets and things like that for you guys. Jeff has been doing some work behind the scenes.
Yeah, man. We'll get some out there now.
Yeah. So please, yes, hit the thumbs up button, spam emojis when we have a show. Tell your friends, your coworkers, your baby mamas.
Help us out.
Whomever.
Help us out.
Yeah. Hey, you should.
We love you on the chat, though. Y'all make the show go. So bring some of your friends in.
Yeah, we don't always know what we're talking about, but we'll try to pretend like we do, and we'll try to be funny while we're doing it. So,
Kyle versus Smook. That's it. That's it.
I'll talk to both of them, see if they'd be willing to do it. I would imagine Smook's going to say no. I don't know Kyle, so I don't really know Smook either. But Smook's going to be like, "Nah, I'm good. I guarantee you."
Yeah,
so,
he'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. I completely understand why he would say that too. So, you guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll probably pop on tomorrow after the game and do a short show, but be looking out for our regular uploads. Share those everywhere. We love you all.
Please
As
do.
always, you know the drill. Say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands. Horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Beat everybody while you at it. Everybody see the leprechaun say, yeah.
Yeah.
Roll Tide, y'all. We'll see you next week.